here from Harpoon Brewery Company. Just tell us a little bit about how the company started. We thought maybe be of interest to the gang here, so if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so here at Harpoon, we got our start by two college buddies named Richard Doyle, Dan Canary. Met with their undergrads at a little university nearby here in Boston called Harvard. They met there, they're good drinking buddies, good friends all throughout college. When they graduated, they convinced their parents to fund a backpacking trip of Europe to go sightseeing. Most of the sights that they really saw were inside of beer halls. They kind of bar hopped their way across Europe and were really amazed at the beer culture over there. Very different than the culture in the States. In the States, if you were lucky to find maybe three tap handles at a bar, and if you change those while nobody's looking, no one would really know the difference. They're putting out pretty much the same style of beer. Europe, very different story. They were kind of blown away at the amount of beer you could get in different styles. Every town seemed to have a brewery that was making a different style of beer than the town next door, even a brewery across town. Also blown away at the community involvement in those breweries. They were kicked out of a beer hall in Munich early, not for being too rowdy or too drunk, but because the head brewer, was actually shutting the place down to host a PTA meeting to raise money for a new playground for neighborhood kids. They had a great time over in Europe. They started dreaming big like young, ambitious college kids do. They said, we're going to open up a brewery in the town we love, right in Boston. It's going to be great with giant parties, festivals, where people come in for tastings and tours. But on the plane ride back, reality and sobriety kind of set back in hand. And they realized that they have no idea how to make beer, and they would need to raise a lot of money if they wanted to make this dream a reality. So they went their separate ways for a bit. Dan went to work back on Wall Street and absolutely hated the company culture there. Rich went back to Harvard to get his MBA, and while he was there, he wrote a business plan for a project. He wrote a business plan for the Massachusetts Bay Brewing Company. And his professor loved the idea. Not only did Rich allegedly get an A on that project, I'm not going to question him, man still signs my paychecks, but he also got a check from that professor. The professor believed in his idea so much, he became the first investor here at Harpoon. They got back together right then, realized they had a good thing going on. They realized they needed a brewer, so Rich and Dan flew out to California to UC Davis's master's program in fermentation sciences, interviewed all 7 graduates of the program that year. They hired the best one right on the spot, flew them back to Boston, started brewing their Harpoon Ale and their Golden Lager in the bathtub in Brighton. And they got their license back from the state in 1987, their commercial brewing license. They were shocked because they got brewing license number 01. It had been so long, over 25 years, since anyone had applied for a brewing license in Massachusetts, that the people doing the paperwork had no idea what to do. Everyone who processed the last round had either retired or died. So they essentially just shrugged their shoulders and reset the count. So our little piece of paper, our brewing license, with that 01, makes us the oldest active brewery in the state of Massachusetts. We're also now the largest brewery in the state. We've grown a lot over our 26 years. First year we cranked out about 1,300 barrels of beer, but we do more than double that every single week right here in Boston. So we are now the 8th largest craft brewery in the country, 3rd largest in New England, just behind what Magic Hat puts out in Burlington. But we distance 2nd and 3rd to what Anheuser-Busch is able to put out in their Merrimack, New Hampshire plant. But just shy of 175,000 barrels last year, hoping to break 200,000 this year. Looking to keep growing.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.